Welcome to the Thunder. I am Shooty McShootski. We've got the Stache and Mr. Thomas Schooley, the professor.
The professor is here.
It is a no game, post game. If you didn't know, there's no Lightning hockey game tonight. But there were 4 games this week. And even a pretty good one yesterday. We're going to cover them all tonight. That's right. You're going to get some hardcore coverage of 4.
How many?
You're going to get 4 post-game shows in one. That's right. When Brady was holding up those 4, that was actually 4 post-game shows in one. Not only that, Stache, you know it. We got a little game going on tonight. This is their first look at our game, so hang on. We're gonna play that game probably at right around 9:30 is when we're shooting for.
Let's hope it has nothing to do with making lines, because then maybe Schooley will have a chance at a victory this time.
No, it is called the new game is called Eaton Anomaly, and that comes right off the heels of the big announcement that the fans are welcome back in. Not all of you. Just me here under the bleachers.
March 13th. Fans are back. Of course, Schooley's going to be there.
I will be there the second game, not the first game. I will be there the second game.
Yep. First one is Saturday, right? Saturday night.
The 13th.
So
that's right.
Some fans will be allowed back in the building. If you've got tickets,
in the barn.
Hit me up. No, hit up Schooley if you need tickets. He's got all the tickets, so
he's got all the information.
He actually has
got all the connections.
To give Schooley half of them, he dishes them out from there.
That's true.
I will be signing off sometime during this because I have someone currently doing some bad things.
Taking liberties, huh?
Go do your thing, because we need you. We need you for eating.
Well, she's a little while away now. She's changing price tags for me.
Nice.
All right, so Schooley's gonna disappear soon.
This is my favorite part of when Schooley is at work and we do the show, because we get the behind the scenes scoop, and I love it when he's like, "Oh, we got action! It's like a little bonus. This is the kind of content you don't get anywhere else, folks. All right, only here on With the Thunder are you going to get such amazing variety and exhilarating experiences behind the scenes at your local big box store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you've got hockey talk, you've got games, you've got crimes, you've got sex.
You got perps getting busted.
No, that one.
What more do you need on a Monday night? You know what I mean? Come on.
Come
on in. The water's fine.
All right, are we going to talk about some hockey games here? Let's start before Thomas runs away.
All right.
Let's start off. We were here last Monday, another no game, and no game post game. And on Monday night, we were talking about how the Lightning had a pretty nice week. Last week, they went 4-0. Well, this week they went 3-0-1. So we had one loss against Chicago. But we'll get to that. First off, we had to play the Dallas Stars one more time in the Lightning. If you recall, I know that was 6 days ago, the Lightning won that game by the score of 2-0. Boys, did you watch that game? Do you even remember that game after
I did watch that
4
game.
Other hockey games?
Yes, I did see that game. It was the 2-0 game.
Where Dallas still has not scored on Vasi in now 3 straight games since Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Good job. You got the first star of that game. That was Vasi's 3rd straight shutout for the Lightning. And yes, of course, several in a row against Dallas, going back to last year's playoffs. The Stanley Cup.
3rd in a row against Dallas, 3rd in the row for the season.
Yeah, and he was on fire in that game too.
He went on a nice little streak there.
Yeah.
Other than that, in that game, you had Palat, which had a goal, and you also had Yanni, who's
Yanni got off
up this week, along with Alex Killorn. this week. And you know what? Palat scored a bunch of goals this week too.
I was just gonna say Palat hasn't been quiet either. Yeah.
He had a power play goal in that game Tuesday against the Stars in the first.
Yes.
They kind of set the tone, and then Yanni had one. I think Yanni had like an empty netter at the end.
Yeah, it was at the end. Empty netter at the end. So yeah, it was a 1-0 game for most of that contest, and obviously Dallas came out and played a lot better than the previous game, but I still felt like the Bolts pretty much controlled that matchup the whole time, and it was just sometimes the Bolts go through those moments where they're playing good hockey and they just aren't quite getting the bounces, or the goalie is kind of on his head, and you know what I mean. That just seems to happen to them every once in a while. But I think they played a much better hockey than the Stars in that matchup overall.
Yeah, the whole series with the Stars so far, they've seen. I mean, we talked about it on the last show. This ain't the same Stars team, but they just are not. This easily could have been a 4-0, 5-0 game, rather than just 2-0.
All right, well, let's move it on, because we had 3 straight games against the Chicago Blackhawks, a team that seemed like they might be one of the teams that's going to challenge the Lightning in the Discovery Central Division. But
they were the hottest team coming into March.
Yeah, ever since it sounded like ever since we played them in that first kind of mini series at the beginning of the season, they've been playing really well. But that ended when they played the Lightning, and Vasi's shutout streak also ended towards the beginning of that game. It was a record, though. It was a team record, I believe.
It was. Yes. He did set the franchise record for consecutive shutout minutes. Correct.
Yeah. First goal in 228 minutes and 9 seconds. Got a good run going there. Mm-hmm. And Vasi is just right in mid-season form here. So that game, the Bolts go down 2-0, and the Lightning come back in the third period with goals from Cirelli, another guy who's scoring a lot of goals since he came back from injuries, and another guy named Steven Stamkos.
Yeah, but that Cirelli goal, it was another shorty, wasn't it?
Yes. No,
his second shorty in two games. He did 2 shorties in 2 games.
Yeah,
since he came back from injury.
Looked really good. Even against Chicago, who, as we know, after 3 games with them and 1 on NBC, they have the #1 power play.
Yeah.
We also know a lot about Patrick Kane from Hockey Day in America's broadcast.
Except for the rape charges. Whoops, what?
Oh.
So the highlight of this was Thursday's game against the Blackhawks. Game 1 against the Blackhawks this series was Alex Killorn, the overtime game winner, and basically Hedman just kind of shot that off of him. I was actually sitting there watching the game, and I saw Hedman get the puck, and I looked at the clock with 2 seconds left, and I got up to go get my shootout beverage, because this was at the end of overtime, and I was like, all right, shootout beverage time. And little did I know, I hear the screaming sounds of the boys in the booth.
Victory.
As they won that game with 0.1 second. That thing crossed the line. That was
on edge too. Like, if it was flat, I don't know if it would have counted. I don't know if it would have been all the way over. You know what I mean?
And originally believed to be headies.
Yeah.
Yep. Bounced off a Killer. And now that's Killer's new move, evidently, because now that's like, 3 games now in a row that he basically jumped up and made that same move, and goals went in.
Yeah, that's
from
true.
Hetty.
Yeah.
At the top. He's basically doing that like jump, spin, kick, ninja thing, and miraculously landing on his feet. I mean, he can't keep his feet whenever he's, just going to the corner after a puck by himself, but he can do these freaking spin kick ninja moves and deflect pucks in. So I'll take it.
Whatever works. That was an amazing moment there. And, just coming back down 2-0 in the third period just shows you that, you can't count this team out. And, we'll get to Sunday's game here in a second. where they beat that 2-game comeback for sure. But anyway, the beginning of this game didn't look that great. What were your guys' thoughts on the Lightning kind of not controlling play for a lot of this game? On that first 2 periods, they kind of looked like they were outmatched for some of those periods.
And it was McElhinney in goal, wasn't it?
That was the first half.
No, this was the first half of the back-to-back. So it was Vassy.
Thursday's game.
It was Vassy.
In overtime. Yep, it was Vassy. 32 saves.
Oh, yeah, I think they just were a little bit underestimating Chicago. And even though, the noise is around them, probably for us, who knows how much they listen to it on the inside of what they're doing. And hey, we're coming to play hockey. And I think Chicago had something to prove after that first matchup. That's really kind of what I saw more than anything. They were like, oh yeah, remember us? Haha, we're not the same team. And the Lightning were like, oh no, you're not. But guess what? We are the same team. So and that's kind of the way. That was just like my very layman's terms explanation of that game from my take of it.
We are the same team. Ha 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 ha.
Basically.
Who's the player that says that? Who represents the team saying like that?
Maroon.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know about the ha. Like that seems more like a Heady kind of thing.
Actually,
he has that weird because Heady has that weird chuckle a lot. Like he does that kind of like he's got. It's not like the Gronk giggle, but he's got his own little Heady chuckle.
Did we even bring up the big rig challenge that the Stache is partaking in?
Oh, I was going to get there as soon as we get to the game
we'll
in which it is relevant. Yeah.
All right. So we're halfway through last week's recap here. Lightning beat Dallas 2-0. Go to Chicago, beat the Blackhawks 3-2. Overtime winner Alex Killorn right off the pad.
My man.
0.1 second left. That was just an awesome moment. That got me really pumped up. On Thursday night, which not many things do these days, boys. But that certainly did. And then I love these back-to-backs because right back at it Friday night. Friday night though, they took the loss, but remember it was a shootout loss. So overtime and shootout loss, you get a point. So it wasn't like a full loss, but the Bolts went up early in this game. Oddly enough, go up 2-0. You had Cirelli with the early goal, and then you had Killorn with pretty much an identical goal from the night before. And that must have been haunting Chicago. And then Chicago comes back, ties it up. McDonough comes back in the third period and scores a goal, and then Chicago comes back and scores another one, forcing overtime. And that was a pretty crazy overtime. Do you guys remember that overtime?
Oh yeah, it was like they were shot out of a rocket, man. It was like it's the one example where I'm like, okay, this is why I do like overtime hockey, because I generally hate the concept of changing the game to figure out a winner in extra time. You know what I mean? Like fundamentally changing the way the game's played. But it was amazing. It was awesome to watch. The thing I remember most about that game, though, is that all three of those goals, I don't feel like any of them were on McElhinney. And a lot of the fan base was like, oh, McElhinney again. McElhinney's garbage, blah, blah, blah. Dude, first of all, the power play goal, which was the second goal. Wasn't the
first one
it was the first goal. The power play goal.
The new defenseman that was playing his first game.
Yeah, that was the second one, I think. But the first one was the power play goal where they just made a great play and the shot was coming right as McElhinney was kind of going down. It was a perfect shot to the corner. Even Ingblom was saying that's basically an unstoppable shot because of the way the play happened, and DeBrincat had just the perfect shot there. And then the other two, I just feel like were just bad job on the guys playing defense in front of him, and there were rebounds and there were opportunities that shouldn't have been there, and they weren't on him. He made the initial stop on the other two goals, and the guys didn't do their job and let Chicago get the puck, their sticks on the puck first.
I agree with that. Subban had an amazing game.
And that's the other thing he did.
Ridiculous saves that game. And
he finally had kind of a coming out game there.
On goal.
Yeah.
So the Lightning had their chances to win that game, but you can't win them all. And you know what? If it takes a shootout for the Lightning to go down with their backup goalie, you got to take it.
Yeah, so, I agree with that 100%.
All right.
Which then brings us to what? Sunday.
Matinee. I don't know if you guys knew it was Hockey Day in America. Sunday.
Yeah, it was Family Day at Haney House. So I actually missed the game, and I was halfway. I totally forgot it was an NBC game. So I was like, oh, I'll just get the rebroadcast. Nope. No rebroadcast on NBC. Yeah, I know.
Blew it because this was the game of the week for sure.
Yep.
Although I don't know, there were some good games this week. So in this game, the Blackhawks come out early with 2 goals, 2 pretty solid goals. Again, not much we could have done about those. I think one was the power play. And then they come out in the second period, score another goal. So the Bolts are down 3-0 early in the second period, and it was kind of reminding you of Thursday night. So I could have been fooled, though. I saw some comments on the old Facebook that must have been people that didn't watch Thursday's game because they thought we were done for. And they were getting very upset. I was going to pull up some posts and post them, but I won't embarrass you guys. Just don't do it again. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen the team come back, and we just saw them come back a couple.
Don't we go through this every year? We lose 1 game, we lose 2 games, we give up a couple goals, and all of a sudden blow up this team. Trade everybody, get rid of
fucking Chicken Little. Yeah, man.
I have not seen the fire coop yet, though, so that's impressive. But I've seen everything else out there so far.
I mean, it's only because we only spent like 3 days on 4th place. If we would have spent a whole week in 4th place, I bet we would have started seeing the rumblings of the fire coop. But the team rebounded real quick. You know what I mean? We're back up there. I can't remember if we're either number 1 or still right there with Chicago, or whoever, right? No,
we're number 1.
We're number 1, yeah. So I forgot to look at the standings. I'm not glad before I came on. It's been a long day. It's Monday. What can I say? That's why I like doing these shows because
keeps you on track for the rest of the week, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does. It kind of gets me over today. It almost makes it feel like an extra weekend when we do the shows on Monday. You know what I mean? Like, anyways. But yeah,
both got a power play at right after Chicago made it 3-0. Thank goodness, because our guy, Mr. Power Play himself, they got like this guy scoring like crazy on the power plays. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hold on. That's the wrong button. I don't even have the goal horn up, but we'll just make a goal horn sound for Andre Palat.
Power play Palat.
Yeah, Palat scores another one on the power play. And then not long afterwards, less than a minute, I think.
35 seconds.
It was Yanni. Yanni coming back for more, and Yanni's been heating up. So right away, it's 3-2. And then a couple minutes later, Victor Hedman just fires one in. Doesn't get touched by anyone in the front. That was another power play goal for the Lightning. It's 3-3 now. And then by the end of the third period, Yanni Gordon scores a power play goal. So the Bolts take a 4-3 lead in that second period after being down 3-0 a couple minutes in. That's Lightning strikes fast, boys,
and often.
But then we go to the third period there. Still a 4-3 game, anyone's game, but the Bolts didn't budge. You had Killer coming through again. Killer's heating up here, getting in midseason form with his 6th goal. And
that was a dandy, too, if you guys didn't see it. I mean, that was a wicked wrista.
That was right.
And I like that line a lot, that Yanni Stammer Killer line. I'm a fan. I like it because it helps Killer kind of get back up there with Stammer and give him a chance to be more of a finisher and let Yanni go do his possession thing because he's a little bit better at it. Killer's great at it, but Yanni's better at that. And you're already seeing dividends on that that matchup or that lineup there. So
we talked about it before. They're doing that more shooting while they're still skating.
Yeah.
And it's working for them. They found success in that a couple of games ago. I want to say it was against Dallas. And we had talked about it on the last show. And then you saw that on the wins against Chicago, they were skating and shooting while they were in the middle of skating and scoring goals.
Yeah. Several guys. You're right.
Well, and they're getting all that traffic in front too. It's just hard to defend. And if they can go back,
finally cleaning up some rebounds.
Yeah, and if they can go back and forth with like some of these, kind of throw them at the net and get a guy in front or get a rebound to the tic-tac-toe, like fancy highlight reel goals in the Stamkos one-timers, then watch out. Stanley Cup number 2 in a row is coming back.
And I just realized something
in that game, Stache. I'll let you.
And I just realized
this one.
I just realized it was the big rig with his not second goal of the year, but his third goal of the year.
Number three on the year. And why is that relevant, as I just learned before we started?
I mean, I did kind of go out and say that I didn't feel like the Lightning should have signed Big Rig again this year, and it was a little bit of an emotional signing, and that he wasn't really producing the way he should be with some of the younger guys.
Sucks and get rid of them.
I mean, I didn't say it quite that way. I was just saying I didn't, And so then, of course, as soon as I say this, Hattie starts playing like, a young child again out there, inspired after he shaves his beard, and he starts scoring goals. So being a man of integrity, I decided that I would eat my words, so to speak, or as I would only do in my fashion, drink my words. And I said I would drink one beer or chug one beer concurrently for every time he scored a goal. So basically I was on 2 beers last week, and I forgot that this week now makes it 3 beers that I am going to chug on tonight's show. I'm gonna have to go get a 3rd beer because, again, I said I forgot that and this just goes to show I'm underselling him, and I only have to drink more beers.
All right, well, go get your 3rd beer, and I'll explain why I was way off here. And that was because I thought he was just going to chug a beer for every time Maroon scored a goal when we had a show for like the previous week. So I was thinking, he's just going to chug another beer, but I guess we're chugging 3 beers now. It's a running tally. So eventually, when Patty Maroon gets to 20 goals this season, Stache is going to have an alcohol problem because he's going to be chugging.
I told him, tell me what kind of beer it is so I can buy stock.
Yeah, it could be a real problem. But anyway, he's gonna chug his beer, and then we've got a game. Eaton at Amelie. That's right. You didn't think there could be a game based on your dining options at the Amelie Arena, but since we're going back to the arena, we want to go back in style and see where the crew prefers to wet their palate. And you know what we didn't talk about in that game? That is, I haven't heard. Maybe you have heard if there was any kind of hearing yet. But you had Murphy with that hit.
No disciplinary action for him.
Nothing, huh? Because it was the first time.
They came out and said there would be no disciplinary action. The hit was legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt though. So
that's something else we didn't bring up. We've had during this 4 games, we've had Chernak and Ruda both out 1 game with injury, and now they both were practicing today, so it looks like they will be back for tomorrow's game.
Oh, good. Chernak was?
Yeah, Chernak and Ruda were both skating.
That play sucked because Chernak made such a nice move, and then he almost went like coast to coast, basically, and then the guy just takes a shot at him while he's not looking.
Tom Wilson got suspended 7 games. That was nice.
What a joke. They didn't penalize the hit in the game, and he still only got 7 games because they didn't call it a headshot. They called it boarding.
Yeah.
It was clearly a headshot. I read an interesting article today talking about him and how the league just continues to enable him. And I totally agree.
All right. Well, are you so you're gonna chug 3 beers right now for
I'm about to sign off for a few.
All right. Well, our viewers are going to go all the way down. We lost half of them when I was talking about chugging beers. The other half are going to go now. See, there's one gone.
She's doing her crime as we speak. She's at checkout now, so let's see. I see where Kyle says I have to do live PD. I wish I could show these. I really wish I could.
We'd have a whole new show going on.
Oh.
All right. Well, you know what that means. That means we are looking for a new co-host. So I'll put the link in the chat. And if anyone wants to join the show, we are basically going to talk about the future schedule. And you know what? You might be able to take Team Schoolie's spot and play Eaton and Emily. But
hey, now it won't be that long. Hopefully.
Well, I don't know, man. You have a job to do.
Watch her like start tackling me or something.
if anyone wants to join, I will let you in on this game. I will give you. There's only one requirement. You have to have gone to Omni Arena before and eaten there before.
See, I've eaten a lot. This is one I can win.
I know.
And of course, you play it away.
Set up for Schoolie. Set up for success. But I think
it's
pretty good this one as well.
She just pulled a dang barcode out of her back pocket.
That's awesome.
All right, so Stache,
right.
How are you going to do this? Should we give you like the full screen here? Can we even do that?
He's chugging one now.
This is compelling podcast audio right here. Make sure you drink it right in front of the microphone there.
That's one. I can't do them concurrent. I can't do 3 in a row. I'll do 3 throughout the show, but I can't do 3 in a row tonight. It's Heineken. If it was Coors, I could do 3 in a row. I can't do 3 Heineken in a row.
I think that's fair. I think we can let you, because what if he scores 10 goals this season?
Oh, we're gonna have to cap it at some point. There's no way.
Can we get
we
get a camera on your floor too, so when you hit the floor?
I'm fucking 40 here, right? I'm not in my 30s anymore, man. I'm officially 4 decades old. You know, the liver only works so well these days. You know,
what if we let you do it throughout the show, and then we put like bottles at the bottom of
we should do a counter.
So people can keep up with where you are in the challenge.
That's fair. That's fair. I just won't have shit to do on Tuesdays. Make sure I have a wide open Tuesday.
Once he doubles that 3, then
ever since he shaved his beard, I'm telling you, he gets to 6 goals. I'm fucked.
6
straight up.
And the shows keep getting shorter and shorter too. So.
Right.
Yes. All right. So no hearing, no suspension for Murphy on that hit. Cernak seems okay, so hopefully he comes back. You saw Borgman. Borgman got some action. He didn't look that great. I mean, he kind of let up that one goal.
I was gonna say he gave up that goal.
Yeah,
he really did.
Not a great.
He was lost on the play right there in front of the net. He definitely gave up that one goal.
But 13 shifts, he was only -1 on that goal. So that was it. I mean, that was his first game with Lightning.
Yeah, and they were flying around out there too. It's not like he was out there playing a cream puff. That team was ready to play after the previous night's overtime game and whatnot. So, I thought he looked okay out there. If he only had the one mistake, that's not too shabby. I'll give you the pass. Especially since it's an injury situation, anyways. So got to get that depth. Got to get some of that experience for later in the season. And also, man, Volkov was looking pretty good too in that game on Sunday. From the highlights I was able to see, heard his name mentioned a few times there late in the game. So
he was getting into it with him. He was ready to drop him.
And then today they send Jamel Smith and the other goalie back down to Syracuse and called up Radish and another goalie to the taxi squad. I think it's to get Smith some more time. Spencer Martin was the goalie they sent back to Syracuse. And then they called up Gibson and Taylor Radish.
Isn't he like one of the fan favorites?
All right, I shouldn't be long. I'll be back.
All right. Thanks for the warning.
Mask up. You really don't know what you're going to get on this show. You really don't, because
I'm telling you,
we don't
grab bag. It's literally a grab bag. We just pull it out of our ass as we go. It's fantastic. It's very professional.
All right. Well, I got a question for you. Now that we've seen all these teams for a somewhat significant amount of games in the Discovery Central Division, who's going to be the real team that really competes with the Lightning? If you could just pick one, and I think it's pretty clear that it's going to come down to probably the Blackhawks, the Panthers, or the Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess what's the fringe team there? Blue Jackets, maybe.
Yeah, I don't see them. I mean, Nashville is a dumpster fire. Man, I don't know, because it's easy right now to say, hey, look at the Blackhawks. Look at what they just did. Look how they just came and played against us. I mean, yeah, we won 2 out of 3, but 2 overtime games, shootout. It's just, but then again, you go and look at Sunday's game, and it's sure they came out and scored those goals early, but the Lightning stemmed the tide, came back and put it on them, and like dominated for like basically from, what was it, like 5 minutes of the second period for the rest of the game. So are you saying who's going to be number 2? Is that what you're saying? Are you asking me, is there somebody that's going to make maybe contest with Lightning to be number 1? Because I don't think anyone's going to really contest with Lightning to be the number 1 seed.
That's what I want to know. Who's got an actual shot to take down the Lightning in this division? Because I desperately want a Central Division banner, just to say you have one, just because you get the chance to get one again. Hopefully.
Yeah, just to have one in the rafters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to say it's probably Carolina. I mean, we talked about at the beginning of the season that it's probably going to be them, and I think that to this point, I still think it's Carolina. But at the same time, it really depends more on how the other teams play Carolina than really how they play the Lightning, because the Lightning's beating everybody right now. So someone else is going to have to beat the Lightning for Carolina, or someone in Carolina. Carolina's got to beat up on a lot of other teams too. They're going to have to take advantage. They're not going to be able to drop games here and there to, Chicago or to Nashville or to St. Louis or to Dallas. You know what I mean? And I don't know that they're going to be able to do that the way the Lightning are just pretty much just steamrolling right now. And we keep talking about it. I mean, they're still just experimenting. They're basically still experimenting with lineups and with ice time and their taxi squad. And it's once again all on the fly. And this team just looks like a varsity team against JV teams for most of the time. I mean, yes, they're a regular NHL team, and all the other teams are good. So there's going to be stretches of games where other teams are going to be better or as good or better than the Lightning. But in general, the Lightning just looks so much better than every other team I've watched, and that's even including some of the other hockey I've watched outside of this division.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago. And really the only reason is because I feel like they have more veterans and more kind of star power, even if it's really more or less just Patrick Kane right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but they got some younger players too that are going to be pretty good. That Jan Mark guy, and they have a couple good players. I think it makes a huge difference though when you actually have superstar players, because they command so much from the defense, and you always have like a dedicated line on the other team that's going to be out there with them, so it opens up other guys to get open and other lines to do damage. So I don't know. I don't think we know yet. Both of us are kind of sleeping on the Panthers, who more than anyone have had our number the most, but I think we both agree that until the Panthers are like still kind of hanging around towards the end of the season. There's nothing to
Right.
worry about yet.
Yeah. I mean, here's the one thing I'm looking at too, right? So the Lightning have 2 overtime games. Carolina has 1. And then Florida has 4. Chicago has 5. Columbus has 5. Dallas has 5. Detroit has 3. Nashville's the only team that doesn't have an overtime game, and that's just because they're getting freaking their asses handed to them basically in every game. So, I mean, the Lightning are taking care of business in regulation. They're not playing extra hockey. They're playing regulation hockey. And the goal differential is just they're plus 35 right now. And they just played 2 of supposedly, I mean, not Dallas, but I mean, they just played 3 games with the team that you think is going to give them the biggest run for their money. And they came out of there, plus 4 on that 3-game series. So, I mean, and again, like I said, they're experimenting. These still, who knows what the lines are going to be. And they're able to just go in there, do a grab bag of lines, and come out, and you're seeing guys go and put up multi-goal games, go on goal streaks, and not your superstars. That's when the superstars ain't even necessarily doing, where's Braden Point right now? Still, where's Braden Point? Right?
Yeah. Some of these teams, more
number 2.
Carolina and more Chicago, do remind me of the Lightning from a couple of years ago, where they've got a lot of the young talent, and they do have a couple kind of franchise type players, but they haven't kind of been through what the Lightning had to go through to get to the cup last year, and to actually finally win the cup. And because how much did we
Well, they haven't had a 16 series. They haven't had a 19 series. You know what I mean? There's even guys on this team that remember 2011. You know what I mean? Those experiences
how many
are what go. I mean, 2011, I still think is the most painful playoff season as a Lightning fan for me since I become a Lightning fan. That's anyways. Because I was Marty, as far as I was concerned, that was Marty's real shot to win another cup here. And then it was gone. So anyways, but the guys remember that, and you're right. I think maybe Chicago is the only other team that has some kind of still some vestige of that 16, 17, or 15 and 16 team, right? That's when they won, was 15, 16. So yeah, you're right. You're right about that. They have some of those veteran players. They have some of those superstar players. There is a shocking lack of superstars in this division. I will say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just not a whole lot of, if you look at these teams, where's the team that really has all the superstars? It's the Lightning. And then everyone else has a smattering here and there. And they start looking at these other divisions, and you're like, oh, there's superstars. Toronto, oh, superstars. Winnipeg, oh, superstars. Edmonton, oh, superstars. Montreal, oh, you know what I mean? I mean, that's Canada, but none of those teams are going to be relevant at the end of the playoffs anyways.
But there are a lot of young, really good players in this league who eventually
I agree,
get some of that attention.
But I agree. Eventually, I'm just saying right now, when we're talking about what matters is this season and these games that we're talking about right now, it just seems like this is what we were talking about this division before the season, and why we felt like this was a bit of an underwhelming division talent-wise is because, look at Columbus, Nashville, Dallas, where Columbus can't even figure out what the identity of their team is. They're trading one superstar for another that has we have one angsty guy that doesn't really want to play with us. Now we're bringing this other, you know what I mean? Where, I don't know, other than Carolina or, Chicago, because I don't see Florida having that type of makeup to be able to really compete going into the playoffs and have that mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how many times did I used to tell you, man, the Lightning never put together 3 solid periods. They would always have at least one period where they were just not playing well. And that went all the way until about probably 2 years ago when they had that, amazing season and
right.
didn't do so great in the playoffs. But before that, they could never get it together for 3 straight periods. You always had that one period where they would just look horrible, and they still have that occasionally, but it's not every game. And I think when I've seen them play Chicago, definitely, as we saw from the 2 comebacks, and you could really say 3 comebacks after that second back and forth game. And the Hurricanes, same thing with them. They seem to not bring it all 3 periods, and the Panthers are kind of the same way, because you saw the Bolts in certain periods of that game doing really well. So I kind of see them as like one of these teams could turn into the Lightning someday, but I think you're right. There's still the Lightning should win this division. There should not be any competition. It should be the Lightning, those other 3, and then everyone else fighting for to hopefully get into that top 4.
Yeah.
But I think we know who's going to probably make the playoffs as of today, unless one of these teams has a miraculous kind of comeback turnaround type of season, which is going to be really tough to do in this super condensed season.
Yeah. I mean, Columbus is already six points behind Chicago right now. I mean, and with 4-point games, and listen, that is the one thing about this is like when you really look at it, a regulation win is a 4-point swing, you know? So anything can happen, especially for a Columbus with Don Tortorella there behind the bench. And if he can galvanize that team, they do have some talent. They do have some skill. They do know how to go and compete in the postseason. If he can get that locker room back behind him and believing in his way of hockey again, that could be a dangerous team that could get in that 4th spot and maybe give us some trouble in that first round matchup again. We could be seeing 3 years in a row. You know what I mean? But as it sits now, it's very hard to believe that these top 4 teams, Tampa, Carolina, Florida, Chicago, aren't going to be the top 4 teams going into the playoffs.
Yeah. Thomas, we were talking about what team, now that we've seen them all
number 3
for a significant amount of games, could possibly beat the Lightning for the Central Division championship.
I think Carolina and Florida. I mean, those are the 2 I've said for the last couple of years I think are the scariest teams. They're a younger, talented team mixed in with some veterans.
Oh, it's too cold.
And I think Carolina, I mean, they're still without their starting goalie. When he comes back, right now he was leading the league in almost every goalie category when he got injured. So
now Matthew is.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have 3 straight shutouts. All right. Well, Schoolie, are you gonna hang out with us for a little while?
Yeah, I'm done. I just had to. Actually, I kept you guys playing while I was doing it all and just listening to you guys.
Oh, how did it sound? You'd be one of the only listeners.
It was bad. It was bad. So bad.
Sounds pretty good.
Oh, that was
well,
bad. That was a bad idea for the 3rd one.
This last week, we saw another NHL coach get fired, which was Calgary's.
Oh, yeah, Calgary. And they brought back their old coach,
Sutter. And then you had Buffalo, who their GM came out speaking and basically sounds like they're about to implode that team.
But hey, they had the lead for like 3 minutes, though, finally. They actually were leading in a game.
They had rumblings that Eichel has asked for a trade. The GM says no, he didn't, but local reports saying he's wanting out of there. Taylor Hall was a busted thing.
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh sent Matty Joe's brother back to the minors, which was shocking to me because I actually thought he was doing good.
Are you ready? Stache, are you going to be able to play a game? I see you
struggling.
Oh, I'm
fine. No, let's go. Listen, it just took me a few seconds, bro. It was just a little cold. And again, I'm getting a little old, but I can chug a few beers here. I still got a few beers in me. I still got a few chugs left in me.
No, I think.
Especially for the big rig. You what?
You got to take them out before the show.
No, I did the first 2. But remember I said I forgot about the 3rd one? The 3rd one was still too cold. I definitely had the first 2 out and opened even before the show, so they got to the perfect temperature.
I think if the big rig keeps it up, like one goal a week, you should get a funnel and have like.
I'll start. I'll start doing like competition style chugs, like in my beer chug Facebook group that I'm part of, and I'll just start having to share this show to that page because I'll have to start doing competition style beer chugs.
It'll just become that. All right. Well,
Stache chugs.
You know,
hey, let's go from chugging to eating. Let's do it.
We're all about some games here. So for the 20 people that listen to the podcast version of this, someday you got to check us out on Monday night after a game or at about 9:00 Eastern, and check us out on the old Facebook or the old YouTube machine. Hey, we're even on the old Twitch burger.
All over the interwebs. So
check us out there. If you search for Shooter and the Stache, you'll find us or weird porn probably. So you're two either way.
Just make sure you look
I'm in both.
Shooter. Just make sure you look for Shooter and the Stache, not Shooter in the Stache.
Yeah,
that's
huge.
That's really weird porn. I've made that again. See, that's how Thomas and I actually know each other. That's a story for a different time. Let's play a game.
All right. So what we have here, as you heard, the celebration of fans coming back in larger numbers to the old Amalie Arena, home of our Tampa Bay Lightning. We're going to play a little game called Eatin' at Amalie. And man, I really wish I had a theme song for this, but I'll just give one of these. I see the piano, I see the drum set. Like, get a little theme song here.
Talk about food.
All right, live with our studio audience. Contestant number 1, step right up to the microphone, ringing in at 6'9" and 250 pounds is Team Stache. He lives in the woods and you can't see him, but he can see you. Contestant number 2 comes from the School of Hard Knocks. That is Team Schooly, the professor. Can he bring us to school on the best eats at Amalie Arena? All right,
I can.
We're gonna stick to the formula that has not really won here, but is easy to do. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna unveil several different dining options at Amalie Arena. And what you guys will have to do is draft style pick your favorite Amalie Arena meal spot. And by the end, we will see who has accumulated the best dining experience during their trip to Amalie Arena. I should add little characters that walk around the arena.
Voted by who?
Voted by probably around 6 people on Facebook tomorrow.
Do I get to go first once?
Actually, no. We will let my wife decide since she is still awake. Yes, you get to go first since you asked. And by the way, I don't think I have all of the lovely food vendors. This is just straight off the Amalie Arena website. I think it is the more commercial area places that are brands around this area that are in the arena. So let's as the Stache leaves, let's kick it off and give you a sneak peek at what there is to eat at Amalie. Feel free to play along at home, folks. As you can see, I'll go down the list here. You have PDQ. You have JJ Snack Foods Corp, which sounds very evil, by the way. You have Mise en Place. I have no idea what that is. Hopefully you can let me know. Outback Steakhouse, the Holy Hog Barbecue, your hometown barbecue smokehouse, Papa John's, Ford's Garage, personal favorite, hopefully soon to be sponsor of the show, Wing House, my favorite on the list, the Corona Cantina, Mr. Empanada, and Cigar City Brewing Tap Room downtown. I think that's technically outside of the arena. But
no, they have inside too, but you don't actually have my favorite place on there.
what is your favorite place?
World of Beer.
World of Beer did not make the list of at
With the big old pretzel.
Nope, it is not on the list. I'm sorry, but we will not be able to count that.
Holy Hog.
Ooh, going in quick with the first pick here. The Stache is back. The Stache, just so you know, Holy Hog Barbecue is off the board. As you see, I've got many of the vendors here from the lovely Emily Arena. It is not all of them. I explained to our audience tonight. It's not all of them, but this is all that were listed on the Emily Arena website, and I could copy and paste their logos. So that is how we got here. And your job is to create a ultimate fiesta. Let me make sure I've got my selectors on here. I sure do. And you know what that means? That means we're going to take Holy Hog and we're going to move Holy Hog right down to Team Schoolie. Holy Hog off the board, delicious barbecue. Ooh, I'd love some Holy Hog right now.
I mean, I've had better in my backyard. I love them, but hey, I'm just gonna say, what's the one that coat? What's that one with the coat of arms?
This like is right I skipped that one actually. I didn't even mention that one. That's 4 Green Fields, which apparently is a place at Emily Arena. Did you know that?
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
Where's that located at?
100's where you never go.
Oh, damn.
I never go to the arena, period. It's been over a year, so that is accurate. And I will have you know that the 4 Greenfields concession stand is located at section 123, featuring a variety of special draft beer options. Food selections include fish and chips, chicken tenders, and French fries.
Well, it's right next to Holy Hog.
For me, that's where I'm going. Anything that's got a coat of arms. Yeah, I am. Anything that's craft beers and Irish food, that's going to be where I start when I get to Amelie. I like to start heavy. You know what I mean? Early on, get a foundation.
It's actually a favorite of the team.
There you go. I already won. There you go. See?
Coop has been known to be there every once in a while.
But it's like it's not even fair for you, Schoolie.
I know he didn't tell me that was there.
Really interesting strategies here. You have Team Schoolie who went straight for the barbecue, wants to get that base in the system before the game. But Stache went straight to 4 Green Fields. He needs a pregame beer before the puck drops, it sounds like. So
you know me.
Stache, we're gonna let you go back to back here. We're gonna go
snake draft. Man, I think from there, I think you got to go mise en place. Like, let's go a little upscale from there. You know what I mean? From going greasy Irish fare, let's go to mise en place. Some little more light fare, right?
We'll accept it. We will accept it.
French.
Yeah, mise en place. That's French. That's the much traditionally lighter fare.
And is that their actual restaurant that's located on the one end?
I've never seen it.
I think so.
Nobody knows.
I know. I've heard of it. I know of. I'm in doing a lot of research right now on Tampa Bay food culture and how it's completely blowing up. But yes, that's like the main restaurant that's there.
Gotcha. All right.
It's on my list. It's high on my list, actually. It's on my top 10 right now of places I need to get to in Tampa.
I like how you're playing this. You're thinking I'm going to the game. This is how I'm gonna handle my food and drink situation. It's gonna get harder as you go, as you get to your 4th course at Mr. Empanada or something. But Schoolie, all right, you got the barbecue. I don't think anyone's gonna disagree with you on that. But where are you going next?
2 now, right?
You get 2 in a row.
Yeah, you get back to back.
Cigar City.
Oof, good choice. Good choice there. We love ourselves some Cigar City. If you watch some of our dopey animations, you might see some Cigar City in the background on those.
Definitely
videos.
a lot of product placement. For sure.
Well, not anymore.
And then Ford's
we have
Garage.
18 logos up on the screen.
And now it's going Ford's Garage. All right.
Ford's
all right.
Garage.
Ford's
right.
Garage coming in strong. Maybe wants to get a burger. And at this point, I think we're getting into the first period, maybe even the first intermission here.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at first intermission. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like a first intermission situation. So I'm going like feeling a little snacky. Let's go JJ Snack Foods there, right?
JJ Snack. This is the tradition that's sweeping the nation of having little kind of almost gas station style food stops in arenas. You see these everywhere now. Used to.
Yep.
So good choice there.
And then I'm going to double down with some wings as I go back. So I'm going Wing House from there, 100%.
Yes.
Probably a light beer, some wings, maybe a little Dallas House on Fire. If you guys are familiar with the Wing House, that's the way to go. So that's the way I'm riding. That's where I'm riding.
You were gone. I was explaining how we would totally accept any type of partnership with the Wing House.
No,
they want to
sign me up.
That goes for
Alice wings all day.
Places on here.
All right, listen, give me wings. I'm good.
All right, so we're getting to we're talking second intermission here, boys. We're getting actually towards the end of the game here.
PDQ for the kids.
Okay.
PDQ.
Okay.
And Dan.
Throw something on the Barbie. Give me Outback.
Wow. This is Schoolie went straight corporate America here.
Yeah, like right to his last three, didn't he?
With the last three, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, that's good eating there. That means, Stache, you've got the choice of two out of
a no-brainer.
Three. Classic.
This is a no-brainer for me. This is a no-brainer, right? I like Schoolie couldn't have set me up any better if he tried. You guys see what I'm seeing, right? I get a Corona and an empanada to finish the game. They go hand in hand, literally hand in hand. A Corona and an empanada, and that's how I'm finishing out the game. Something a little bit greasy, but still kind of light and tasty. A little bit of our local Floridian Cuban flair. And then, the Corona. How could you go wrong with a nice, light, refreshing Corona alongside of tasty Mr. Empanada?
So there you have it. And as we do, of course, we will have a thrilling vote to see whose team has the best food.
He has one more than me.
Yes, he does. You actually get, if you want it, you get
the beer.
Yeah, Papa John's.
No, you get Papa John's. The pizza that nobody wanted. Papa John's.
No, ever since Little Caesars left, it's crap.
Yeah, dude, Little Caesars was the shit, bro.
Hey, last pick in the draft, Papa John's.
That's what you get.
It's never bad to end with pizza, but it's the Papa. It's
Papa
though.
No, I like Papa John's.
It's the brownie. That brownie from Papa John's is yummy.
Well, see, there you go.
All right,
see,
so if
you weren't here to sell
it. We'll take your votes now. Who's
7 people watching minus me, maybe 6 people then, I guess.
Whose food are you going after here? Are you going Team Schoolie and going to Holy Hog, Cigar City, Ford's Garage, PDQ, Outback, Papa John's? Or are you going with the Stache, who went classy, started off with a beer, then went to the fancy restaurant, and then took it right to the Wing House after that? Then
you've got the gas station snack food first, though.
Oh, that's right. You went snack foods first, and then Wing House, then empanadas and Coronas.
This might be my only problem. This is my only problem, and I can't pick apart your games because you come in strong with these games every week, but they're not necessarily in like order of experience. So you know what I'm saying? But hey, I don't care. It's cool. I like this game. This is probably my favorite game you did so far because I like the logos.
We've got to
work
vote
hard on that one.
We've got to vote for.
We got 2 now.
Schoolie.
Wow, way to support local, everybody. Way to support your local.
Ford's Garage and Outback takes it Takes it to the house.
National chains, huh? That's where you guys go to eat when you go to your local hockey arena. Is your national chains?
Holy Hog isn't national.
Like they do.
Cigar City
They
isn't
said
national.
no. They said because of Ford's and Outback.
No, they just said Ford. Yeah.
Steven said because of Ford's and Outback. I'm going to say it.
Hey, is it Outback Tampa? Yes.
But
homegrown Tampa.
No, they are.
I know they are, but that doesn't mean that they aren't freaking a corporate. I know. I'll give them maybe a pass on that one because they have done great things locally for the community, and I do love me some Outback Bowl. So, hey, listen, we knew this was finally going to be a chance because, Schoolie does go there a little bit more, but at least I got one person that understands how to party. Guinness and Scotch eggs, baby.
We're both
trying to highlight it at the same time.
We got a team stash here because of the Guinness and the Scotch eggs. All right, I got to go to this 4 Greenfields.
Hey, when you're Scotch Irish, you just know what's going on. You know what I mean? There's only one way to start, I guess, if you ask me. So there it is.
Elizabeth explained herself with her Schoolie vote, barbecue and Outback. Sometimes one and the same.
Them sliders at Holy Hog are to die for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the first thing you're going to hit up when you get into the stadium. Are you going to go Saturday?
I'm going Saturday. I have tickets for how many games? Let's see.
Have you guys seen the Sorry.
I'll be having some up for sale too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games I have tickets for.
And if you have some up for sale, you better private message me first. So I was just going to ask you, have you guys looked at the resale situation yet?
So here's the thing is that they sent us an email saying that it's only going to probably be STMs from the pre-sale earlier.
Right.
That they don't envision having any regular seats available for general fans. Then I sent a message because I bought single game tickets through the STM thing for 4 other games, and they said they will honor those. So if you bought tickets already, they're going to honor them if the game is to be played. If you haven't gotten a chance to buy, you're not going to unless you get them from the resale.
Right.
And they are raising the banner on the 13th, and people have lost their damn mind about it because
it's not the whole.
No. Here's the thing: is a lot of people got Plan A that was going to include opening night, the banner raising. And then they didn't do it because we didn't have fans. And Plan A does not have Saturday's game. So all the people that originally bought Plan A to watch the banner raising will not be there on the 13th for the banner raising.
Whatever, man. Get over it.
Guess what? If you can't make it, it's going to be on TV.
Guess who else isn't going to be at the banner raising? Like 100,000 other Lightning fans, man. Like, I know you bought tickets and what, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just can't understand all the negative emotions towards having fans in the arena.
That banner?
You know? Oh, son of a bitch. Don't bring this up, brother. Please don't. I can't even tell you right now how mad I am.
That banner?
Flat tire on Thursday kept me from being able to go to you and have pictures with the freaking banner on Friday. I don't even want to talk about it.
It was an invite for the half season ticket members because they did not get to take a picture with the cup. So they sent out to half season ticket members. Well, it ended up being that they had to add more times around the Toronto. Something happened with the Toronto game that they canceled the Raptors game. And then WWE had to come in there and film something and put up a ring and stuff like that and test some things out. So then they added more times, but didn't have anybody to fill the time. So I got a message.
Are they doing WrestleMania there again? Right?
It's at Raymond James.
They're doing WrestleMania at Raymond James. I thought they were going to do it in the Dome again because they're doing the Thunderdome at at the Chop. I thought.
Yeah, no, they're doing it at Raymond James with 25,000 people.
No shit. I wonder if my wrestling.
But so SmackDown, Raw, and the NXT will all be held at Emily.
Man, I'm gonna have to look at this because we had tickets for WrestleMania last year. I got like friends and family, and that's my end. You got your Lightning in. I've got local wrestling ends. That I've almost a decade. So we were like the first before they even released tickets to the public. We got our little letter in the mail for friends and family, and we got to pick our tickets and whatnot. So, but we did get a refund on them. So I don't know that. I'm sure that there's no we'd have to get back through it again this year. We didn't even talk about it yet. So,
little fun fact: 3 years ago, I was up for Best in the Bay influencer, and I lost to Micah Rotunda.
That's one of the dudes I know.
Ian Beckles was the winner. Micah Rotunda was second, and I was third.
Yeah.
No, not Killorn. Not no jet ski and Killorn.
That was 2 years ago. That was before Doc Talk.
He is now.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this week's games, and I will remind you guys, I am out next week's show. That's right. I will be gone. These two are going to have to come up with their own fun and games.
There's going to be hardly any effects. It's just going to be me and Schooling yelling at each other. It'll be the best show yet, so don't you miss it.
And also, will you guys go at 9, or are you going to go right after the game? Because as you can see, it's a 4 p.m. start time.
I'll have to drive home. So
it'll probably be
would still be good.
It'll probably be later. So keep an eye out for the invite for that. But we will have you guys will have a couple games to talk about. 2 games at Detroit. No problem there, right, boys? And then 2 against Nashville. We should be talking about 4-0 this week, next Monday, I think, right? You can't really expect worse than that.
Yeah, no. I don't see. Like that's no.
That game on Saturday, their first home game with real fans in it. And then the second, Nashville better just say thank you for playing us tonight.
I'll tell you what Nashville needs to do. They need to look at our game we just had and start planning on the meals they're going to eat and the food they're going to enjoy while they're in Tampa, because they're not going to enjoy eating any W's. You know what I mean? Eating any W's down at Amalie, that's for sure.
Yeah, there ain't no way the Lightning shit the bed when they actually allow fans in that arena for the first time.
Since they won the Stanley Cup
and raise the banner. There ain't a chance in hell. They're going. The Predators are about to be really sad.
3,800 fans is going to sound like 20,000 fans. I'm telling you right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's not going to be a single person that walks out of there with a voice. And if you do, then I want your freaking fanship right now. I don't care who you are. You want to talk shit about who's allowed in and who's not allowed in and blah, blah, blah. If you have a ticket and your ass is in the seat on Saturday and you walk out of there with a voice, I just got to say, I don't know about that.
All right. Well, now that you guys have totally jinxed the team on Saturday night, basically guaranteeing a shutout victory and nothing.
How about Detroit put in what's his name?
I have no idea who you're talking
about.
Yep. Coppola. Valtteri. That's it. They put him on waivers.
Oh, is he?
They put Philpy on waivers, huh? Again.
Yeah, a couple days ago, and he cleared. Nobody wants him.
Yeah.
Nobody's making any moves, bro. I'm telling you. We talked about this last week, 2 weeks ago when Joe was on, about how the trade deadline.
Last week.
It was last week. That's what I thought it was last week. About how I don't think the trade deadline is gonna be that lively. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of moves. Guys are clearing waivers that would have never cleared waivers.
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of beat reporters for the teams that are losing really talking about that teams are going to start imploding their teams.
Who's buying? But who's buying is what I'm saying.
Buffalo,
that's what I'm saying.
Detroit.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, listen, I understand you want to build a team, But if you're not competitive to win right now, and you're not making money right now, why are you going to spend right now? When you know that you win, especially right now when it's trending, because that's what I also want to talk about with the fans being there. We're having 3,800 fans in the seats. When I look at it as a positive thing, because I think that hopefully by playoffs we've got half capacity, right? That's what I'm hoping for. By the time the playoffs come, the Lightning and Amalie Arena is at like 100% half capacity. So that's what, like, or just under 10,000, right? Because it's almost 20,000 max capacity. So if you can get 10,000 fans for the playoffs, to me that means next season we're full capacity, right? When you guys think the vaccinations and everything goes through. So that's for me what I'm looking at as a fan, knowing there's fans in the arena now. Okay, so now you go from there, and like now teams are going to kind of start making money again a little bit this season. Those teams that are having fans that are allowed to get back in, and you're lucky because even teams like, Florida, they're going to get their full 5,000 fans every game just because that's what they normally get anyway. So they're going to be doing their normal business. But are they really making enough money to spend money now, knowing they still have the expansion draft coming up in between in the offseason, and what most likely will be full capacity next season? And then they'll be able to be more aggressive at the trade deadline next season in the middle of a more conventional setting. That's why I just don't think you're going to see a whole lot of action at the deadline.
When I have been seeing that they're saying more and more talk about teams doing these 2-game series starting next season.
I like it. I think it's something that could, and that's the other thing I really like. It would be great, and I think Batman's been done a good job so far of figuring out ways to carry some of the cool things from this last 2 seasons between the bubble and this, and instigate it or institute it into regular seasons going forward. Because I like this. I think if you did this in the divisions more often, it would really help build the rivalries, and I think interest in the sport overall. The more casual fan is going to get way more engaged.
Well, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. All right. So that's what's on the schedule for this week. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we move on to the post-game show?
I was going to say, so we should probably move into the green room because those 3 beers are starting to,
Yeah, I'm going to have to go for a few minutes again.
All right. So anyone that's listening to the podcast, another reason to catch us live is we are now going to start broadcasting our post-game green room where we do a little editing and talking smack. We're going to be over on Twitch. If you want to join us, I'll drop the link in the chat here, twitch.tv/Shooter and the Stache. If you give us about 3 minutes, we're going to be back right over there for probably another 15, 20, 30 minutes. That is an uncensored show. We don't save that at all. We don't record that. We don't post that to the podcast or anything, feed or anything like that. So go catch us there. Until then, if you don't see us there, catch us next week minus me. So tune in just for that to see what these knuckleheads do. Until then, this has been We the Thunder. Don't forget.
We the Thunder.